Not gonna lie, it's kind of hard to find today's location. Kind of felt like I was running out of things that are kind of cool in downtown Riverside without being repetitive. So I kind of just drove and I found this it's a path that leads to, well, where you need to guess today's location. So if you know where I'm at in Riverside, leave it in those comments below. We'll get you your shout out to your channel or to your social platform of your choice. So we're gonna kind of just go through a nice little quiet neighborhood, not disturb the residents too much, and we'll get to talking. Today's topic is gonna be about blessings. Now let me give you some context as to how I arrived to this train of thought. I think it's a very easy trap we all fall into. For about the last year, my wife and I have been renting a room for some family friends, just trying to get on our feet and get financially set. And really, it's not what we want for ourselves. And it's been kind of tough over the last year or so, to some extent. Family's been great, we appreciate all that they've done, but it just wasn't what we wanted. One night, I had this bit of a revelation and this perspective shift that kind of helped me be less impatient and more appreciative for what we have. I started to realize I could sit here and think of all the things we don't have. We don't have the cars we want. We don't have our own place to live. All these things started to add up and accumulate in my mind of what we were lacking. But then I had a moment that kind of turned it around. It's like, yes, we don't have our own place to stay. We don't have our home to call our own. And I was like, but we have a home. I have a bed. There's a lot of things that we lack, but I started to look at the things that were supposedly lacking in our life and actually appreciating what we did have. Now, I think it's really dangerous when you start to have a conversation like this to start to compare yourself to other people, and not people that have more, but people that have less, quote unquote. That's not what I want to do. I don't want you to set yourself on a pedestal above another human being because of monetary or financial status. In fact, I'm a big believer that you can't pigeonhole somebody with where they're at in life, because one, that's hopeless. That's terrible to do that to someone. And two, you don't know what they will be tomorrow, a week from now, or 5 years from now. So let's not do that thing. Like, oh, well, you're not sleeping on the streets. You're not dead broke, okay? We're not doing that. Thanks for just letting me clarify that. Let's get back on track. So what we are doing is getting you to appreciate and shift your mindset from what I lack to what I have. Because if you start to do that and even write it out and list it out and put it on paper somewhere where you can see it, the list starts to be a little bit longer than you actually realize it is. And if you start to look at that list, maybe there's something you want to change. For us, we're pursuing our own apartment. We're trying to get our place of our own. So this triggers another thought in my mind about apathy versus contentment. But I think we're gonna save that for another time. Right now, what I wanna leave you with is this. Switch your have-nots to haves. Start to appreciate and identify the things that you do have in your life and really value them, because they are truly blessings that you get to have and cherish for this season of life, and there's just better things to come down the road. So hopefully that begins to shift your perspective and open up your eyes to what you do have versus focusing on what you're lacking in your life. Because I believe once you start to pen those things down on paper, yes, pen and paper, we're going old school. I think there's something meaningful that happens when you do that. Write those things down that you do have and just really let that sink in and appreciate the blessings that are in your life. And if you'd really like to, start prioritizing some of those things that you think you may not exactly have, or the situations that aren't exactly ideal in your life, and start pursuing them, because it's really easy to fall into the trap of routine and just let life wash over you. So it's okay to want more, but just appreciate what you got, you know?